have it, dear one. Look. The one that's there now is not the one that was. It's the same with my third wife. There's no point in me, and I haven't prayed desperately that she comes back. It wouldn't be fair to pull her back. She's in heaven. The spirit that's now occupying is not the one I married, I can tell you. Not remotely. To pretend because she finds it's not in her interest to do otherwise, as presented now, would actually be a nightmare. It would not be the one I married. And I'd soon find it out again. It's like Legion in the story, but imagine now that the original chap, and we won't call him Legion because, he's the one that Jesus rescues. Imagine though now that he's not present. Well, there's no point in casting out all the demons. A host more will come in because there isn't a permanent occupier there. One that should be there. The one that was there legitimately would not be legitimately there now. They're in heaven. And that which is there could be a host of demons. It could just be one. But it's not the one you knew. And I won't say they don't have a right to be there, but you don't have the responsibility to them that you had to the one that's left. It's like me saying, this is a stranger I know who is in great trouble. You are responsible to give your life over as if married to. You're not, and you didn't choose, and it wasn't appropriate, and it still isn't appropriate. The fact that they're occupying the house that you know is neither here nor there. I can't go into my old house in wherever, say for instance the one I had on Walton Seafront, and simply sit down in the living room and go up to bed when I want. And if I do, it's going to cause chaos. And the owner will come home and think, what on earth's going on, and want to throw me out. Because he says, no, it's my house. I'm the one that should be here. And if he doesn't want to come back because he's gone on to heaven, it'd be a great shame to call him back, to have to cope with me, who he's never met before in his life. See? It would be a nonsense. Perhaps I haven't explained that very well, and perhaps it's not a terribly good example, but I'm just saying that the actual person is gone. It wouldn't be right to pull them back. The loveliness of my first wife is in heaven. The one occupying that body now is, well, not one, probably. It could be quite a bizarre behaviour that goes on. And we say, they've got a lack of short-term memory. Of course they have, because it can be what another of the spirits was doing 10 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago. And they're not in contact with that. Each spirit has its own access to God according to its values. And the values of the spirit that are now occupying, by the looks of it, are disastrous. It shouldn't be in a human body at all, perhaps. You don't know. And I mean you don't know. I don't mean you shouldn't have compassion upon the spirits that are there. And, in the story, they say to Jesus, well, let us go into the pigs. And he says, well, okay, that's appropriate in some sense. Well, it wasn't. The pigs just went berserk with such company. just rushed down the hill and drowned in the lake. That's the story. But it's a story that's written by someone who had a view of living that resulted in him writing the story. And it may be a valid view. I'm not saying I know the answer. I'm not saying that what I'm giving here in this recording is, of the Lord. Gospel. I'm just saying it could be the case. And in a sense, I hope it is the case. Because I want the lovely person I knew and married and was with for the 18 years to be in heaven now, not battling with this decaying body and chaos and loss of mind. And if it is the case that I'm right, in some measure, then that could be just wonderful. My God is wonderful. Whatever is right, He's doing and done. And I may be completely off course, but I'm wanting to trust that He's as right as I can imagine. And that is as right as I can imagine at this present moment. I'm sitting here struggling over this and I'm thinking, why is this even a problem to me? I'm trusting God. I don't need to know God, do I? But in some sense, I'm trying to know. Why is that? I won't let it go. And I pop downstairs and chat to my daughter-in-law and granddaughter, who is off the planet, of course. Suddenly she's screaming away at me. Why is she screaming? Oh, Dad's home. She's heard him coming. We haven't, but she's got very good hearing. She can't speak, but she's got excellent hearing. Much better than you or me. And she's screaming with delight, of course. Dad's home, and you can't shut her up. She's full of joy. And you don't want to shut her up, of course, either. And I find, by the grace of God, it's come to me. And I've recorded the last few minutes of this. I don't know how far I got, to something like 14 or something, 13 perhaps. And now, well, I've added all this. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.